they come back and forth, 2 overtimes. What's the takeaway of emotions?
That we got the win. I probably don't look it right now, but I just love it league-wide. I just think there is a bunch of competition going around the league. Everybody's fighting for something. I remember 10 years ago at this time, everybody was resting or the other teams were tanking. This is not the case right now, and it's bringing out all the emotions that competition, brings out. Man, it's the good, the bad, and absolutely everything in between. So, we feel a sense of relief, at this point. These experiences can harden you and hopefully make you better. And it was just a tremendous effort, to have to overcome a lot of different things, down 4, down 6. In the overtimes, our guys were exhausted, but sometimes that's what it is. You just have to find a way to win, and our defense down the stretch was as good as it can be. And then, Tyler and Nico and H, made some big plays, in that second overtime. Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and he was totally exhausted, by that second overtime. Everything, he's been cleared, for everything. It hasn't been a minutes restriction, but I'm going to hide and duck away from the training staff tonight on the flight, because we're at this point where it's by any means necessary. But you can see his skill level. Jimmy carried us, those last 4 minutes of the fourth and the first overtime, and then, parts of that second overtime, and then, he was pushing the gas pedal, quite a bit. So we needed somewhere else for the ball to go, and that was Tyler, when we needed him the most. And, he made some big plays on those pick and rolls while he was exhausted. But it just shows you his skill level, and he's fearless. He loves those kind of moments. He tends to rise to the occasion, in those clutch moments. But H hit a big 3, hit a big runner, and Nico was fantastic, tonight. I often have to remind myself, that Nico's 20, but he's getting better. He's getting better by each month, and you saw that tonight. That was winning basketball, both ends of the court.
Following up on that, going from not playing early in the season into coming in and being in those late game executions, how can you speak to Nico's growth along this season and being able to have those kind of things?
Yeah, he's improved in so many of the areas. It started with his work ethic. I think you are 18 when you get drafted, and you're from a different country, and then you come to the Miami Heat. It's a different experience. We're not for everybody. So I think he was totally overwhelmed, and he wasn't healthy. But last off season, he really dedicated himself and put on 25, 30 pounds, and he's really been committed to the work. And it doesn't happen overnight. That's that saying I always say. So many people overestimate what you can do in a day, but they underestimate what you can do in a matter of months. This has been steady growth and 2 steps forward, 1 step back, learning and competing and figuring out how to carve out a role. But he's been really important, with so many of our lineups, and defensively he's got a lot better. So he as a system defender, but also individually and on the glass, we become a bigger team with him for sure. And offensively, he just gives us a very unique skill set, with both him and Bam. They both can handle, they both can initiate, they both can pass. And Nico, is fearless also, in those moments of truth.
How do you deal with a playoff race that is just unrelenting? I mean, even tonight, Philly wins, Indy wins. I know you can only take care of business, but
yeah.
Do you sort of feel the tightening of
I
the
just
screw?
love it. We don't want a life more ordinary. What do you want? Come on. I said it. I'm sure I visually don't look like it, but I love it. We love competition. I know my locker room loves competition. Our guys are exhausted. When you dream about competing in this association, you want these games to have this kind of meaning, context, and consequences. If there aren't the consequences, you don't feel the emotion.
Coach, with you guys having 3 games remaining, of course, those 3 games will be at home. Second game tomorrow, but back-to-back, you'll face Dallas. You just mentioned a moment ago, any means necessary. Would that be your message to your team over these next 3 games, pretty much leaving it all on the court?
I'm not even thinking about, the other 2 games. We just got to get on to Miami, get on this plane, and rest up and gear up and get ready for a tough one tomorrow night. All right, thank you.
Thank you.